Good morning and welcome to the channel. We are back up here at the cottage build. The sanding is done. I finished that yesterday, so now we're on the paint stage finally, which is nice. I did a little bit of a cleanup, but there are a few more small things I need to do in order to get ready for the paint stage. So today's video will be just a collage of small random things in preparation of the paint. But it will be a good day because we're not sanding. I mean, it does still pretty much look exactly the same as I left it. I did do an initial cleanup of the floor. There was a lot of dust obviously when you do sand, but because there were some spots and defects I had to fix on the ceiling and on the walls, I did re-mud a couple places that I'll sand away today, as well as a few other smaller things I have to do in preparation for paint, as well as actually mudding the bedroom closet. Totally missed that, so I do have the first coat done and it is dry. I can do the second coat today. It will be a good day. Lots of random things. Let's begin. Okay, I had to get a couple more 2x4s to finish off these part walls over here. Basically what's happening here is there'll be a barn door, a sliding door, slash maybe something a little different, we're not quite sure. Regardless, there'll be a decent sized opening here. I'll build these two stub walls, and then those stub walls will have veneer rock over them is the plan. So I will have to drywall them, and then we'll just use an adhesive to stick on the stone. So the goal for today is to get this wall done, these two stub walls, get them drywalled, sand and finish the small drywall patches and touch-ups that I did have to do. So we're ready to go for painting. Do the second coat of mud in the closet, in the bedroom, and a big cleanup. Clean up everything that I can, basically, at this point. Most of the dust, we want to make sure all the dust is gone, would be ideal. So it's actually not that much, but requires a little bit of every tool in order to do the small things I do have to do, which is a little annoying, but it's the way it goes. So, I'll get ready for this. We'll tie in the top of these walls with a beam, which will stiffen it up quite a bit. I'm just adding this L shape to make sure that that outside stud doesn't warp or twist once we do add the whatever door we do end up adding, the barn door. So just to stiffen up the wall, it's an easy thing to do rather than putting it the same direction as the other studs in place right now. Now that we've got that framed up, we can go ahead and drywall it. That's a hammer drill. Never mind the drawing. I was bored. Drew a smiley face. So now all we have to do is do that to the other side, paint it up, and there's our door. Should work pretty good, a continuous hinge. I'm just kidding. Funny. Can't reach. Whoa, like that. That's done, didn't take too long. Now I'm gonna jump into the bedroom and do the second coat of mud in the closet. A baby grasshopper maybe just jumped onto the lens. See? Put him outside, out of danger. Be gone! So what I have to do now is move everything out of the bedroom and closet, move it into this main area, so put all my tools out here. Do the second coat of mud in the closet, clean out the main area in the bedroom, and move everything back into the bedroom, clean this main space. A little back and forth, but again, it's worth it to clean up everything at this stage. So I do a time lapse, but I'll do a time lapse. You can see I've already begun. Found a hole for my laser yet. It's just kind of loose, which is fine, but it's a small thing to be loose. Someone left their pants here, and they're not my pants. Dun, dun, dun. Bedroom is all cleaned out. Closet's cleaned out. I can do my second coat in there. And it's probably gonna take a little bit of time to dry in that closet because it is supposed to rain all this week and be pretty humid. Unfortunately, so I might not get out of that until everything actually is painted, and I'll block the closet off and sand and do what I need to do in order to paint that, but I probably won't be ready for another week, to be honest. I won't record me doing this because it's in the closet and it's a little dark, a little awkward to bring the camera in there, but this is the space I have to do in here. Okay, I'm not quite able to do that bedroom closet at the moment. I forgot about a patch I did with 90, so we're gonna wait till that dries, which should be fairly quickly, but in the meantime, I'm going to clean out all my receptacles, which is fairly straightforward and simple. So anywhere there was a receptacle or a light switch close to a seam, I put tape over just to avoid filling it up with mud. So the clean up will be fairly easy. I just have to take the tape off. Like that. And I'll do the same with this one. Just gonna cut the tape rather than pull it off, just in case I chip the mud and have to re-mud it. This one is actually right where the paper tape was I put on the seam, so I'll be a little more careful not to delaminate that tape. Like so. Make sure you can get at that screw for the electrician. Clean it out, there's a bit of mud in it. Clean it out carefully so you don't wreck the thread. And then for the ones that I didn't put tape over, sometimes they're filled with mud if they are close to receptacle, or if I had to do a little bit of patching. This one, for example, you can see that it was pretty close to a seam here, and because I feathered it out and didn't tape it, there is a little bit of mud interfering. But quick fix. And that pretty much does it for cleaning out those. Now I'm gonna go around and sand the small patches that I had to touch up with mud. There's not that many of them, but I'll do that while I wait for the sheetrock 90 to dry in the closet so I can go ahead and finish my second coat in there. I went ahead with a pencil and marked them so I can find them a lot easier. Now it's just a matter of going around looking for a pencil mark. Really the only patches that have been done are any indents that I just didn't want to sand the whole area to bring it down to that level. And that could happen as easily as just bumping wet mud with a trowel or ladder or something instead of trying to fix it when your mud is in that awkward stage of drying and it begins to skin over. Just leave it and touch it up afterwards. So I'm going to go around and do all of those, and in the chance that I do miss one, the primer has a tendency of bringing them out a little more, and I can still fix them at the priming stage. It's not a huge deal, but I think I've got the majority of them dealt with now, but we will see. Okay, while I'm waiting for the 90 mud to dry in the closet, I'm going to go ahead and prepare the floor, and to do that I'm just going to use my 4-inch knife, go around and knock off any mud that has fallen and dried on the floor. So there's bound to be some globs. I've already done it once after the second coat, but the third coat is a little more sloppy, so I'm just going to make sure it's free of anything that might come in the way of laying down the floor, because after it's primed and painted, the floor will be next. So I can prepare it for that. So anything like this will interfere with our flooring. So I just knock it off. Here's another one. Here's a glob of glue. Make sure that's gone. I'm just gonna go around with my knife and make sure it's all clean. That is gonna do it for today's video. We got the floor cleaned off, all the globs of dried mud and anything that might interfere with our flooring. So now the flooring's pretty much ready to go when we get to that point. I was able to mud the closet bedroom and move all my tools in there, so everything else will be ready to primed, be ready for primer come tomorrow. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.